it's not only my face that is burnt, also my hand. I missed all the limbs from my left hand because all the limbs were all gone. And I just remained with the thumb and the pointing finger.
So in the bit to open the lever or the latch of the lamp to blow it off. So when I blew it off to go off, instead of the flames to go off, it went into the globe. That's on top of the globe is the chimney, right? It went into the chimney section and now came back with force.
And one of my things was that one day I'm going to meet a very nice, hot, tall, dark, and handsome darling, with a nice husky voice, and this guy's gonna make me a candlelit dinner, and I'm just gonna run off, right? And that is what birthed my candles, actually.
So we've got K. Obum from Nigeria, and I think he'd wanted his family to take part so that they can give their views about his experience. Then there's a lady from the US, Alabama, by the name Sherry Kent. She also is supposed to be in attendance. Hi, Itumeleng.
Hi, how are you, Stella?
I am fine, thank you. And you?
I'm good, thank you.
Thank you for taking time to talk to us. We have Jose Ngunjiri from Kenya.
Hi, how are you?
Yes.
Hi, actually, Jose.
It's Jose, yes. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we've got Obum from Nigeria. And then also we've got a Kenyan doctor who deals with burns. His name is Dr. Shaban. He's also supposed to be in attendance. I am Kaleche Kasina. I'm an independent health journalist. I thought about doing a story on burn survivors or burn victors. And I thought about getting a perspective from people from different parts of the region so that we can get to know your experiences, how you navigated, and even tell us a bit about your healthcare and service delivery. Perhaps there's something we can borrow from each other, or perhaps even maybe we share common problems. Yeah, and then we'll also have some input from our doctor once he joins the meeting. We can start by introducing ourselves before now we go into sharing our experiences. I don't know who will go first. Jose or Obum or Itumeleng, whoever is ready. You can just introduce yourself in a nutshell before we go to your experience.
I'm a burn victor. I usually don't call myself a victim. I usually say I'm a victor. And when I was 4 months old, my house help left me in the house.
Okay.
And went to pick up my older sister, who was 2 years older than me, and left me in the house. And that's when now the stove, and in Kenya, at that particular time we were using a kerosene stove. I believe it blew up, and that's how I got my burns. Stayed in hospital for a good amount of time, and later on went on with my life. And about 4 years ago, I decided to take the path that I've always wanted, like my purpose. And as fate has it, what tried to kill me is what I'm trying to fight. So right now I'm a fire safety advocate, and I go from community to community in and around Kenya, and hopefully in Africa very soon, just to tell people the danger of fire and how to really fight fire when it is in its incipient stages. So currently, that's what I'm doing. I'm working for Africa Fire Mission, and in my part time, I serve at the Kiambu Fire Station just to keep my skill ongoing and to keep my skill relevant as a firefighter. But during the week, I'm engaged in a lot of fire sensitization and also bringing together firefighters across Africa.
My name is Obum and Jose Ngunjiri Amanchuku. Okay, I have a very long name. Like my name is kind of the longest name in the register primary school, right?
Yes.
I was just a young lad. I did my primary. Then the last picture I have about myself or of myself is when I was in primary 6. You know, when you get to elementary 6, you have to take a common entrance that will enable you to go into high school or secondary, because I'm from Nigeria. So that was when I had the accident. So I had the accident at 9. So my name is Obum. I'm from Nigeria. I'm from Anambra, and then Abatete to be precise. And then I had an accident when I was 9. I was in JSS1. That's a high school 1, right? So that was when I had the accident. So I stayed in the hospital for almost 2 years because I had a 3rd degree burn with 55% coverage of the body, right? So, and then it has been a very tough and then difficult journey. Okay, my brother is here. Actually, he has he will have more to say with time, because he has been the one that has always been helping me out. You know, we are in the same classes together before we got to element. That's high school 6. That's SS3. So I had the accident when I was 9. Generally, it's a 3rd degree burn with 55% coverage of the body.
Perhaps you can first of all introduce yourself in a nutshell, and then share your experience through your brother's burn experience in a nutshell. Yeah.
Okay. Hi, my name is Chisolu. I'm a lawyer.
Okay.
I focus on infrastructure, project, and energy. I work with a global law firm here in England, Leeds. I work at the law firm of Adosho Godet. It's an international law firm, but I'm in the England part of the business. So, she's my elder brother, though. He's a year older than me. And we grew up in a relatively very quiet and not so rich neighborhood. The burn happened, it was on an evening after work and after school, though. So our school is quite far from where we live. So the commute from the house to the school is a bit around 1 hour, 30 minutes or something thereabout. So we had to travel really far to get a good education because of the environment that we grew up in. So so the thing is, it was from a lamp. It was trying to like put kerosene in a lamp, but this was because because of the unadulterated nature of the kerosene. So you know, we have liquefied natural gas, we have argo, we have diesel, we have kerosene, but then the one that powers the lamp is called kerosene. So that's what he was trying to pour in the lamp, and then it just exploded and went from there. So it's I like to think that it was because of the negligence of the government in actually trying to regulate the amount of diesel that's been sold, or the quality of the petroleum resources made available to people to use. So he just wanted to pour it in the lamp, but the lamp was already on, probably going to go off. So he just wanted, the lamp the old lamp that has a wick. So he wanted to pour kerosene into the lantern, and then he went off. And then he was wearing his pajamas. They were like all of us. Though we were quite young. Though he was 9, I was 8. It was really funny. Because of the age, nobody prepares to see something like that within that age. Yeah, so you get me. So obviously, as the light went off, so everybody was running and everything, and then I think my dad came, and then So it was burning, but when you're that young, there's not a lot of cognitive ability you have to know that you have to like run fast. So he was trying to get like his pajamas off his body. So that's what makes it slightly worse. You get. So when young people, nobody goes around thinking, oh, when am I going to get burned by fire so I can prepare for it? So nobody really prepares for it.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things you don't prepare for in life. So the good thing was it was raining at some point, or it has rained. It was a very, very, very poor neighborhood though. So I think my dad just took him and put him in the rain, and then from there everything just went south. From there, life as he knew it was about to change. So I think he said 56% of his body. I think it's quite more than that because the body peeled off entirely. You see. And when you're young and your brother, that you walk around, and then you walk around with your brother, you look for trouble, run around, play games, whatever it is. So it was really, it felt a kind of way. So what had happened was so he went to the hospital. From there he was unconscious, I think for like a week or two. It was quite immobile because I couldn't concentrate in school because we used to trek to school, enter bus, whatever it is. So it was actually quite difficult, seeing him in that state. So he was unconscious. So because we are dark-skinned people, so it went from this skin to white, like white, like it was really white. He had the bandage, the gauze, the very mirrored one. The gauze was wrapped in him, like his body, like from hair, like up the hands. I mean, some parts of the face. In fact, the face has some kind of blisters that were just opening and pores and whatever it is. So it wasn't something you want to experience when you're quite young, at least when you're not even 10 at the moment. So you see. So it had a very crippling experiences on my whole family, the finances. I don't know what currency people use, but I know a night there as of then with the inflation was around 900 naira. It was a very challenging, troubling experience that none of us prepared for. But then he has taken it with good faith, though. He's been very positive from then. The way he handles it, you can see how he goes around like it's nothing, trying to encourage people, empower them, trying to resensitize people that's really not the end of the world. So he just took it like a man, and then he just obviously like he's a positive icon to all of us. Like he's my elder brother, so we're proud of him, and we try to support as much as we can. People come from that and become a different part of themselves, but he has just taken it like a man. He doesn't feel a kind of way about it. He like genuinely like hopefully helping people that we know from when he had the injury, like far back in like 2010, 2011. From then, he has been keeping that energy. So from 2003, 2004, when it happened, he has kept that energy of trying to encourage people that have bonds, no matter how slight. He encourages people with his story. He has been on BBC. So he's just one guy that, didn't let the situation or circumstance or whatever it is hold him down.
I can see he's got a good support system. And one of the questions I'll come to later on is about support system. I kind of see a similarity in how he got burnt with Jose. The burn incident happened as a result of kerosene, right?
Yeah. I saw the similarity when Chisolu was saying what happened to our brother Obum. And I was like, wow, this is quite interesting. And I believe in that time, the main means of the way you could cook food affordably was through kerosene. Yeah, electricity was crazy. You couldn't be able to afford the cookers, and also the gas cylinder cookers were really quite costly. So you'll find either people using the kerosene or what we call the jiko, the charcoal cookers.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was that was a similarity, which is quite interesting. That I'm seeing a similarity in Nigeria and Kenya at that particular time.
You've talked about what happened on that day. For some people like Itumeleng and Jose, they were quite young. So I wanted you to just, in a nutshell, tell us what people told you happened on that day. Before we come to Obum. Yeah. Jose, you can tell us what happened on that day. Yeah.
So when I got older, that's when I, of course, I don't know what age I would say I knew when I was burnt. Maybe 4, when you get to understand what happens to you. Maybe 3. Of course, my mom used to tell me in bits, because you see, my burns, I got them when I was just 4 months old. So basically, that's you know yourself as that. You don't have another way or another face. Better. I don't know how well to describe that. So my mom used to tell me in tits and bits what happened to me, and maybe I was about my earliest memory. I think when I was joining school. Maybe at 7 years, that's when I used to wonder why people are staring at me, why they were telling me my hand, because you see, it's not only my face that is burnt, also my hand. I missed all the limbs from my left hand because all the limbs were all gone. And I just remained with the thumb and the pointing finger. Yeah. So all the rest was slashed off by the doctor. Yeah. So in school, I kept on wondering, hey, why are people really wondering? Why are people staring? And my colleagues at school in the kindergarten I used to go, others were saying maybe I have epilepsy or something. So all these questions I was asking my mom, oh, why are people staring? What really happened to me? For as much as I had a very strong support system with my siblings, I'm around a very strong support system. So there's not really so much worry. But when you're sent out to the world, people, you find stares, you find questions, 1,000,001 questions. And I'd say my mom told me the story. And of course, yes, my brothers and sisters and all. And then now I could gather all the other million questions and answers into one. And then one day I just asked them, hey, is this how the story was or is? And everybody were like, yes, that's it.
I am all here. Okay, so I am Itumeleng Sekhu, now Mrs. Spedi, married with 3-year children, 2 boys, 7 years old, they are twins, and a 15-year-old teenager, young, beautiful young girl. And I live in South Africa, and I am 33 years old. Yes, I'm 33 years old. Young, beautiful, vibrant woman who is resilient and believes in her own power, right? And also just believes that we all have an immense power within us, and we can all just reach our fullest potential once we tap into that power. I'm an entrepreneur, I'm an author, I'm a motivational speaker, I'm a philanthropist through my foundation called to the Itumeleng Sekhu Foundation, where we help people with motivation, with self-esteem, with self-love, self everything, basically. And we also help schools with things like sanitary pads, school shoes. We have like a stationery drive sometimes. So we just have so many things so that we do within the foundation. I was only 11 months old. I would be lying if I said I remember something. So everything that I know about the accident itself is what I've heard from my mother. So I was only 11 months old. So my mom said to me that I was sleeping on the bed, and then the candle then fell over. And then by the time she lifted me up from the bed, my right hand literally stayed behind. Four fingers on my left hand side, my face is scarred, as well as the right side of my body. I was then in a coma for 3 months, in hospital for 3 years, back and forth. And 104 surgeries later, here I am. So mine was a 70 degrees Celsius fire. And then it was a 3rd-degree burn. So the fire went straight into my cells, and so forth, hence the scars 33 years later. I'm in such a beautiful place now. I've gone through a healing journey with God from matric until I was about done with varsity. So I'd say 4 to 5 years. Obviously, you're never completely healed, so you will have a few triggers, and so forth. And one of my phobias actually was candles, because I got burned by one, right? And one of my things was that one day I'm going to meet a very nice, hot, tall, dark, and handsome darling, with the nice husky voice, and this guy's gonna make me a candlelit dinner, and I'm just gonna run off, right? And that is what birthed my candles, actually. And I started making these candles, yes, with only one hand and with only one finger, and to get over my phobia, but also for me, the candle making was sort of symbolic to say that there's a candle that lives in each and every single one of us, and that candle, it is either burning or it's not. And those of us that know that our candles are lit, then we need to switch on that candle for the next person. So my saying always, that there's a candle that tried to burn me, it tried to kill me, it tried to ruin me, but that very same candle, darling, lives inside of me, and that candle is shining bright. And the name of my candles, it's IS Candles. We have a website as well. It's www.iscandlesa.com. So you're more than welcome to check them out. So that was another way of me healing, because I knew that I had to get over this phobia of candles. I had such a huge phobia, and now I make them. Right? Talk about taking lemons and making lemonade.
Obum, perhaps you can tell us what happened on that day, what you can remember. Yeah.
Okay, that day, like my younger brother say, it's my responsibility to make sure that the lamps are well lit, because they will have to be on overnight, right? So because we the kind of neighborhood we were, there wasn't light. So because we are living together, so there should be light always, in case if you want to ease yourself later in the night, so you can see the way to the restroom, right? So okay, I just finished lighting the lamp, so the lamp was on. So it was past bedtime. That should be around after. That should be after 20:00, going to maybe 21:00, and it was a very heavy rainfall night. So I decided to make sure that the lantern has kerosene inside. So when I checked, it had kerosene. So I tried to drop it on the floor. So it started doing overfloating, right? So when it was doing the overfloating, I had to bring the lamp up. We learned from our parents that when it's doing overfloating, you tune it up, down for a while, and then you keep it settles. So it was a very unlucky tuning for me that day. So when I brought it up to tune, I noticed that the kerosene wasn't smelling well. It was adulterated kerosene. So in the bid to open the lever or the latch of the lamp to blow it off, so when I blew it off to go off, instead of the flames to go off, it went into the globe. That's on top of the globe is the chimney, right? It went into the chimney section and now came back with force. When it came back to the force, it landed on my face and on my PJ, right? So, like my younger brother said, we weren't trained or armed on disposing fire. So, as young as I am, or as little as I am, I tried to dab the flames because I was on flames already. I tried to dab the flames on my skin, maybe for it to go off. I don't know. So the more I dab it on my skin, the more it turns to more flammable. Because some particles of the adulterated kerosene has found its way on my PJ, right? So it helped in the escalation of the fire. So the last thing I could remember was my mom running out from her room because she wanted to go through the dining section, right? So she passed through the dining section, and when she saw me on flames, that my father was the one that actually made my hand to go more bad. He pulled me by the left arm, that's the arm here. He pulled me by the left arm, and then the flesh has cooked like add salt to your taste kind of cooked. Like the flesh has cooked very well. Like you just add salt to your flesh and eat. When he pulled by the flesh, the whole flesh went down. So my mom just had to go to the freezer and then break some eggs on top of my body. And at the bit of trying to pull my PJ, because it was 100% cotton. So as she was pulling the PJ from my burnt skin already, she was dropping it on her legs and she caught the fire too. So I and my mom were involved in a fire accident that same night. So it was like a wonderful something. Like nobody knew what was happening. Like the last thing I can remember was I was asking my dad and my mom, will I die? They said no, I'm not going to die. And it was a rainy night. And my dad was not psychologically balanced to drive because everybody was at shock. So we had to call my driver's mechanic to take us to the hospital, which was about, let's say, give or take 30 to 45 minutes because it was a rainy evening. So my father couldn't drive. It was my dad's mechanic that drove us to the hospital. So when we got to the hospital, I walked down from the car. Actually, I walked into the car by myself. I walked down from the car by myself without any aid. The last thing I can remember at the OPD, I don't know, then they call it OPD. That's the outpatient department. I don't know what they call it right now, maybe EMT or something. So when I walked out of the car, I walked into the hospital by myself. The last thing I could remember was I told the nurses that we are on duty that night that I'm feeling cold, that I want to sleep. Because really, it has passed my bedtime, and me and my brother, we need to go to school tomorrow. So I told them, I want to sleep. So that was the last thing I could remember. And then consciously, I guess the next thing I could remember was when I was telling them that I want to drink water, that I'm thirsty. I said that maybe after 2 weeks or 3 weeks, when I regained my consciousness that I'm thirsty, I need water, I need food in my system. So this is the last thing I remember, that I want to sleep. So they put me to sleep, and that was what I can remember what happened.
Okay.